Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to give you a field report on my latest activities with Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. I have absolutely fallen in love with Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. I think the reason why is I'm just such a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons, and I think that Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, more than any TTRPG that's ever been released, fully inherits Gary Gygax's legacy. And the reason why is it was very purposely attempted to do that, right? So Gary Gygax is listed on page 2 of the book. Matt Forbeck, who is listed as the author on the cover, actually edited Gary Gygax's work and worked closely with him. And I think really understood him at a level that had never really been achieved before by most of the people who worked at TSR. And Dungeons and Dragons is literally put onto the cover of the book. It's really incredible. So, um, so my next campaign with Marvel Multiverse role-playing game is not a Marvel campaign. So, what I'm going to do with it is I'm starting with one friend, and we're gonna test this out, see if it works, and then we'll expand it to a larger group, right? But our campaign idea is to run, or my campaign idea, and I proposed this to my friend. So my friend is a huge fan of American 1980s professional wrestling, right? And he's a subject matter expert on it. He knows everything there is to know about it. He knows, who the top competitors were. He knows the business aspects of it. He literally knows the history. He knows the most dramatic and dynamic narratives that happened, with American 1980s professional wrestlers. Um, and um, and I know he's really passionate about it, right? So I proposed this to him because one, I wanted to give him a chance to ask, if you were a 1980s American professional wrestler, you understand the obstacles that they had to overcome in order to do this epic, incredible thing. How would you have handled it? How would you have overcome the obstacles that American 1980s professional wrestlers would have overcome? What would you have done if you had stood in their boots, right? And I think he's, and I didn't know he would be interested, but I proposed this to him and he said yes. And there's a few reasons why I want to do this. So first, I would say first and foremost, I he has been very passionate fan of American professional wrestling all the time I've known him, and I've never really understood it. I really didn't understand the attraction, right? But he's an epic friend. I've known him for a long time. He's very passionate about it, and I'm like, he's an epic person. He has an epic passion for this thing, so I want to understand it better to more, firmly build the bridge of my understanding of this thing, which is a very significant part of American history, and to understand my friend better, right? Additionally to that, I'm very excited about the possibilities of what can be done with um, with Marvel Multiverse role playing games. So why on earth would I use the Marvel Multiverse role playing game to run an American, a story with no science fiction, no genre elements? It's literally a recreation of American 1980s professional wrestling, right? And allowing, this player to create a 1980s professional wrestler, right? Why would we do this? Well, I actually think that Marvel Multiverse role-playing game is the best GURPS, the best generic universal role-playing system that's ever been created by far. And it wasn't intended to be that. It just happened. And why did it happen? Well, Matt Forbeck set out to enable players and narrators. That's the dungeon master term for, what if you're a dungeon master in Marvel Multiverse RPG, you're called a narrator, right? So to create this space where narrators and players could create any story that ever been told in Marvel. And what's really wild is there's rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, rank 5, rank 6 heroes in this game, right? And I think what a 1980s American professional wrestler is a rank 2 American hero, is a rank 2 hero, right? And the game, because you have characters like Punisher who have no, literally zero superpowers, The game is structured to allow this. And so you can run a historical recreation, you can run a science fiction story, you can run a fantasy story, you can run a superhero story, you can run any type of story, because all types of stories have been told in the 60 years of Marvel, the comics. And so basically, you have, this situation where it really lends itself to any story you want, better and far better than Dungeons and Dragons ever could, right? And the reason why was Dungeons and Dragons was created to be systematized Tolkien, like dwarf, elf, human. And so people are bending Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition to fit all these other genres, and it serves well, but it can't, in my humble opinion, it cannot serve as well as Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, because Marvel Multiverse role-playing game was built to handle a universe that literally contained every type of story, whereas Dungeons and Dragons was built very much to allow you to tell stories that are extremely similar to what Tolkien told, right? And over 5 decades, it's expanded beyond that, but literally out of the gate, Marvel Multiverse role-playing game has far surpassed it. So I'm very excited about this. And already my brain is thinking a lot about 1980s American professional wrestlers. So what were their main challenges? And as I think about it, there are 3 main challenges. The physical challenge, they had to defeat opponents in the ring, and that was difficult. It was physically challenging. It was mentally challenging, right? Just in the ring bout, right? Like, that is a challenge, right? In addition to that, the verbal challenge. They would have to give speeches, to the camera before and after the matches, and they would have to denigrate and demoralize their opponents, and also get the fans on their side, right? So that's another challenge. And then last, the life. They were celebrities. They were absolutely epic celebrities who had, all the, meth, drugs, and rock and roll. They had, it wasn't specific to being a 1980s professional wrestler. It was literally the same as being a 1980s rock star, right? There were pitfalls that would be, that were there ready, and those pitfalls are there today. Like, just these pitfalls, right? Of excess, right? And how do you navigate that, right? How do you carve a path of epicness and at the same time be careful and cautionary, in specifically in an industry that was, kind of defined by chaotic momentum, right? And so that is really quite fascinating, just what would have to happen in order to navigate those lives, right? So that's what I'm thinking is going to be the structure of the tabletop campaign. I would love any ideas you have, for making this better for my friend, and also making it structured so that we can bring in multiple other players who are fans of American 1980s professional wrestling. Every single word of that is my humble opinion and my field report to you. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion on how I can make this campaign better. Please consider subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.